The forest was dense, the trees towering over me like ancient sentinels. The sun had long dipped below the horizon, leaving me shivering in the gathering cold. My hiking boots crunched on the fallen leaves as I stumbled upon an old, dilapidated house nestled deep within the woods. Its windows were pitch black, and no welcoming light escaped the cracks in its wooden frame. The chill gnawed at my bones, pushing me to seek refuge within the forsaken structure. With a sigh, I pushed open the creaking door, my breath visible in the frigid air. I stepped into the darkness, the gloom swallowing me whole. The silence was suffocating, almost as if the house held its breath in anticipation of my intrusion. I fumbled for a flashlight and swept its beam around the room. Shadows danced along the walls, casting eerie shapes that seemed to writhe and twist. The air was thick with a musty scent, and the silence grew heavier, oppressive. I unrolled my sleeping bag on a tattered couch, the worn fabric feeling rough against my skin. I lay there, staring into the darkness, feeling as if unseen eyes were upon me. The minutes dragged on like hours, the silence becoming a tangible force that pressed down on me. I closed my eyes, hoping sleep would bring relief, but my slumber was restless, haunted by whispers that weren't there, distant, indistinguishable sounds that clawed at the edge of my hearing. Sometime past midnight, I woke with a start, my heart pounding in my chest. The front door stood open, a pale strip of moonlight slicing through the darkness. In its frame stood a figure, a silhouette devoid of features. My breath caught in my throat as I watched paralyzed. The shadowy figure moved, gliding across the room, its movements fluid and unhurried. I clutched my knife tightly, my knuckles turning white. As the figure disappeared into the kitchen, I forced myself to follow. My footsteps echoed through the silence, each one resounding like a gunshot in the stillness. I entered the kitchen, my flashlight revealing nothing but dusty surfaces and empty air. My heart raced, and I scanned the room, my grip on the knife tightening. Then I noticed them, muddy footprints leading to a spot in the middle of the room. And then they abruptly stopped, as if the person had vanished into thin air. My mind raced, thoughts swirling like a tempest. I checked every corner, every room, every inch of that house, but there was no one there. The silence persisted, mocking me, a maddening contrast to the racing of my pulse. I finally made my way to the front door, the need to escape overwhelming. As soon as I stepped outside, the woods came alive. The wind rustled the leaves, and the distant sounds of the night rushed back to my ears. I glanced back at the house, a shiver coursing through me. And then I saw him. In the top window of the house, a figure stood, watching me. A figure that was unmistakably human, yet somehow otherworldly. Panic surged through me, and without another thought, I turned and fled into the night. The sounds of the forest surrounding me like a chorus of voices. As I stumbled through the underbrush, I couldn't shake the feeling that the eyes were still on me, that the figure was still watching from that window. The house had been a haven, a refuge from the cold and darkness, but it had also been a trap. A place where silence was louder than screams, and shadows held secrets too terrifying to comprehend.